In today's video, I will be giving y'all my reactions to Wildcard Weekend and also my predictions for the divisional round. I didn't want to make two videos because there's not that many games to talk about, and I wanted to wait till the end of the week to get the predictions out so that way this video just comes out now. Either way, before we get into this video, once again, I want to remind you, please check out our new podcast, Tuesday Night Takes, on my channel. It's me and a friend going into the NFL weekly. Please tune in every week. We will be glad to see you with us. Also, make sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button. It helps my channel out a ton. Doesn't cost you a thing, and I will be doing a jersey giveaway when we hit 1,000 subs. Either way, let's get right into this video. Starting off with Cleveland and Houston, we're going to say Browns, y'all didn't show up whatsoever, and I'm very glad because this just proves to you that Myles Garrett is a fraud. He's not the defensive player of the year. He's not the best defensive player in the league, and he never will be because he's never once led in any stat. He's not better than specifically TJ Watt at anything. And you know what? Joe Flacco, your magic was going to run out. We knew it was. If you didn't, you're wrong. There's a reason this guy was on this couch. There's a reason. The running game never got going against Houston. David Njoku is a Joe Flacco merchant and is overrated himself. And yes, I'm hating right now because I can. This is why I can. This was a pretty even matchup, but they got routed. It's not even fair. Myles Garrett is a fraud. And yeah, moving on to Houston's side, though, congrats to CJ Stroud. He had a great game, a great rookie season, and hopefully the magic continues. Devin Singletary got himself a touchdown. Nico Collins, a really good game himself. He's a dude, and we got to put some respect on his name. Our next Saturday game was the Dolphins at the Chiefs, and everybody said Tua could not play in the cold weather. That renders to be true. Did not have a good game, period. The only good play they had was Tyreek Hill's long touchdown run of 52 yards, and that was all Tyreek. It was not anything that Tua did. He actually underthrew the ball drastically. So, yeah, the running game never got going, which was one thing that I thought they'd really be able to do, and it just didn't happen. For Kansas City, a pretty good game overall. Nobody's particularly played great. It was just I guess Rashee Rice, he played great, let's be real. But everything else was pretty much just, the Dolphins gave up a lot. Their defense was hurt. It sucks for them. But one thing to be worried about Kansas City is y'all went 2 for 6 in the red zone. That's a problem, and if you're going to Buffalo to play next week, that's going to be an issue. Green Bay and Dallas, wow. I don't want to hear anybody talk about Dak Prescott played good. No, he didn't. He had 190 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 picks by the time the fourth quarter started, and they were down 41-16. He did not play well. He got garbage time stats, put up 16 points and 2 touchdowns, and made himself look good. Either way, Dak Prescott, he was fighting his way to be a top 5 quarterback this whole regular season. Now, he's probably no better than top 12 to 15. He just isn't. This guy doesn't win in January, and that's all that matters in the NFL for a winning team. You don't win in January, you don't matter. And this guy, you're never going to win in January with Dak. He clearly chokes. He's 2-5 in the playoffs, and the one game he won last year was against a very bad Bucs team. Then moving on, you have also a very bad performance from a defense that was supposed to be so good. Cleveland, Dallas, y'all were supposed to be good defenses. What happened? I don't know. Thankfully, though, it also blew the water out for Micah Parsons, another Defensive Player of the Year candidate who stinks. He doesn't stink. He's a good player. Let me be real. But he does not deserve Defensive Player of the Year. Once again, has never led a stat over TJ Watt. Moving on, the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love, CJ Stroud basically had the same exact stat line. It's impressive that happened. And also, these are both essentially rookie quarterbacks, so congrats to these guys. Aaron Jones owns the Cowboys. If he's playing them, take his overs on everything. And then Romeo Doubs, Luke Musgrave, Dontavion Wicks, Tucker Kraft. Who are these guys? Jordan Love made these guys look elite all game long. That's on Jordan Love. He's a very good quarterback. Let's not say he's top 10 yet because he's played 1 year of football, but he's a very good quarterback. Moving forward, I think the Packers are going to be plenty fine. Maybe the best game of the weekend, LA versus Detroit. And this one, Matt Stafford, you played great. Kyron Williams, not so good. It was fine. Didn't get over 100 yards. That's a shocker. Puka Nacua had a great game. Cooper Kupp didn't do a whole lot. But, not a bad game. Ernest Jones, great game. It was a very good game. They had 17-14 going into halftime. Not many points were scored in the second half, so it was a pretty boring half. Jared Goff had a great game himself. This team is just kind of loaded on offense, and that's how they're going to win their games. They're going to score a lot of points, they're going to stop you from running the ball, and they're going to let you throw over their heads. So next week, that might be a concern for them, but we'll talk about that later. My Steelers did lose, but Steelers fans, we got to have a talk. Let's stop blaming the refs. Let's just get that out of there. It's not their fault. we can't turn the ball over twice in the first half. If George Pickens doesn't fumble for no reason when the ball doesn't get touched on that one drive and doesn't set the Bills up within 20 yards of their end zone, that we go to halftime 14-7. Our defense played well. We stopped them most of their drives. After the first drive and the one drive that Josh Allen had the 52-yard rush on, props to him for that. Mason Rudolph played well overall. The run game never got started. You got to have that happen for how we've been playing lately. And this game was the closest 31-17 game I've ever seen. It was a good fight from the Steelers. Let's be real. Josh Allen, heck of a game. He might just be the best quarterback in the league. There's no one that has the comparison of passing and running like he does. It's just not similar. Mahomes doesn't. Lamar doesn't. Jalen Hurts doesn't. No one is like this guy. He is a difference maker. And the turnovers, yeah, he might have one here or there, but guess what? He's going to show up when it matters, unlike a lot of the other quarterbacks in the league. Good job, Buffalo, and, I'm rooting for y'all going forward. Another shocker of the weekend. Tampa Bay takes out Philly in a very convincing manner. I'm going to start with Sirianni. I don't think he should be fired. He's a good coach, I think. He took them to the Super Bowl last year. Yes, the coordinators were great, but they were bad this year. So let's compare that. Let's not just say, oh, last year's guys were so great, they led this team. Let's talk about also how bad the coordinators were this year. The offense never ran anything but shotgun. You got to put Jalen Hurts under center. You got to make sure he's doing some play action. You got to change things up every now and then. The running game never got started in this game. Devontae Smith had a heck of a game, but it just was too much to be caught up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Congrats to Baker. I'm super excited for Baker. He did a great job. He was banged up too. So Jalen Hurts, Eagles fans, y'all don't have any excuses. Rashad White looked pretty good. Cade Otton started off really rocky, but finished off strong. And you know what? The whole team did. I thought this was going to be a very bad game because they dropped like the first 8 passes thrown. But you know what? They won the game in the end, and congrats to Tampa Bay. We're going to go in order of how these games will go to start predicting the next few weeks of the next few games of football, The Texans and the Ravens start off the weekend, and man, I hope the Texans win this game. They have a legitimate shot because the Ravens do not show up in the playoffs, period. They just never do under Lamar. They've won one game under him, and it was a game they should have won. So, moving past that, the Ravens might be too much to stop, though, which really, really stinks. The Texans, I am rooting for them. However, Ravens, I think it's going to be too hard to match up. C.J. Stroud's run ends there. The Packers and the Niners are the next game on Saturday, and once again, I'd love it to see the underdog win once again. The Packers, it would be awesome if they did win. However, the Niners are pretty hard to top too. At the same time, though, star quarterbacks win playoff games. That's how it works every single year. And Brock Purdy is simply not a star quarterback. He is just a guy who is in a system that is very friendly to him. Jordan Love might be a star quarterback. We don't for sure know yet, but he looks like it. I'm still going to take the Niners. I think it's going to be too much to match up with, and we will see the Niners move along. The Bucs and the Lions, I believe, is the next game. I could be off on this, but we're going to go here. Detroit gets another home playoff game. That's awesome. Tampa Bay, they played very well against Philly, made a very convincing run. However, they did exactly what they needed to against Philly to win, in my opinion. I'm going to take Detroit. I think they are the better team. I think they're able to make a run here, and I think they go on to the conference championship. And finally, Chiefs-Bills. The most probably going to be watched game this season. The rematch. And this time, hopefully, Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to lose his mind over something that's his own team's fault. Mahomes, he and the Chiefs have struggled offensively for a while now. And last week, they struggled against the Dolphins, who had a ton of injuries on defense, in the red zone at least. They were, like I said earlier, 2 for 6. That's going to be a problem playing Buffalo. Buffalo, on the other hand, Josh Allen shows up in playoff games. At least most of the time he does. And he's going to this time. Buffalo's going to win. They're going to take on Baltimore, and the Lions and Niners going to match up in the NFC. That's going to be all for my predictions and my reactions to wildcard and divisional round football. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button. I will be doing a jersey giveaway as soon as I hit 1,000 subs. So make sure we do that. And either way, I'll see y'all in the next one.